Well, the Kgalema Motlanthe Winter Seminar, dedicated to the former president's 77th birthday, will host a seminar under the theme The Continent and Migration. Participants include, among others, former Deputy Finance Minister Mcebisi Jonas, International Relations and Cooperations Minister Ronald Lamola, and Minister Mamoloko Kubayi. The guest speaker will be Deputy President Paul Mashatile. Sophie Mokoena is there. Let's hand it over to her. Sophie?
Thank you so much. Yes, indeed, we are coming live from Sandton, where we are going to look at the issue of migration. As you know, that the former South African president, Kgalema Motlanthe, celebrated his birthday, 77th birthday, a day after Nelson Mandela's birthday. And now, to look at that birthday, the foundation, the Kgalema Motlanthe Foundation, took a decision to dedicate the celebration to an important discussions that is to look at Africa and migration. We know that the former president is quite familiar with issues on the continent as a former head of state, but also at a time when he was a deputy president, he did visit many countries, and therefore I think the issue of migration comes at a time where all eyes are on South Africa. You know that with the recent protest against undocumented foreigners, the countries have been looking at South Africa based on the fact that some of their nationals were affected. We saw yesterday the president of Ghana, John Mahama, meeting with the Commission AU, Mr. Yusuf, and they were talking about this issue. Previous days, you had a situation where the ECOWAS, that is the West Africa group of countries, met, and therefore they took a decision to support Ghana on the request that the issue of challenges of migrations in South Africa be put before the African Union. I'm going to be in conversation with the former president about this issue. Former President, welcome to SABC Morning Live. The conference.
Morning to the viewers.
The summit comes at a very critical moment where South Africa is grappling with migration. What is your view? Are we discussing migration in a way that we can find lasting solution? Because when you look at people who are protesting in South Africa, truth be told, the concerns are genuine. Of course, this has got an implication for people who are watching from outside, as I pointed out, with Ghana taking this matter to the African Union. What is your view?
Well, firstly, we must accept and recognize that the competition for limited resources and opportunities manifests itself more severely in the poor sectors of South African nation. And that is why the protests start from there. And of course, the issue of migrants is not new. It goes far back to the misty beginnings of time when, pastoralists had to find greener pastures, and that meant movement. Settled life only starts when people begins to till the land, because you plant and you have to wait for harvesting season. And that's what created the basis for settled communities. Now, the issue of migration, therefore, is not unique to South Africa. That is why we thought it best to convene this seminar. And there's the advisor to the Minister of Finance from Ghana. There would be the EU ambassador. So they will also bring into our conversation the different experiences as well as perspectives, because South Africa can be an island on its own. And once we heard the cries of the ordinary South Africans, that they are concerned that, you know, they are being crowded out by so-called foreign nationals. Now, the manner in which their issue has been raised, it creates other problems, because, you know, the economy of South Africa is an African economy, which
We rely on the African country.
Absolutely. We rely on African countries. Therefore, you need to come at these issues holistically, and not just, you know, on the same basis as issue-based formations or organizations would, because they focus on one issue. But, you know, the totality of our economy and life is far broader than that, yeah.
As we wrap up, former President, now this matter, it's likely going to be tabled before the African Union. We know that when a country is being discussed at any fora, it becomes a problem. It might distort the situation. What is your view? Should the African Union look at this matter zooming into South Africa, or holistically, because you have many Africans who are perishing in the Mediterranean, young people who are crossing, who want greener pastures in Europe?
Yes, no, true. We should really, all of us, welcome the fact that this issue of migration will be itemized for discussion at the AU summit, precisely because many people come at issues, you know, from a very narrow, uninformed basis. And any discussion and dialogue is an opportunity to clarify issues. And we may be swimming in confusion right now, but at the end of the discussions, we will all be clearer and together, because the founding fathers of the OAU laid stress on unity. They understood that without unity of the African continent, there will be no progress, and so on. And so we need to, as we discuss these issues, ensure that our perspectives lead us to a position where the continent would be united in more, particularly when it comes to intra-trade within the continent. Yeah.
Thank you so much, former President. We'll continue to discuss this until end of the day, perhaps to get a wrap from you. That was the former President of South Africa, Kgalema Motlanthe, talking to us. This is a very, very important discussion today, and I think if you follow SABC on our digital platform, you will get more information about the discussions. And the minister has just issued a statement of international relations responding to the president of Ghana about this matter being taken to the AU. Minister Lamola met with President Mahama 2 days ago. They had a discussion on this matter, and later we'll be in conversation with the Minister of International Relations, Ronald Lamola, to get more clarity about the statement he has just issued. The statement that emphasized that South Africa doesn't support or prescribe to racism or any form of intolerance. As you know, South Africa in 2001 hosted the United Nations conference on all forms, or fighting all forms of intolerance, including xenophobia, and therefore it is not the policy of the South African government to discriminate.